Friday, the 9th of June, 1944. Great news of the invasion! The Allies have taken Bayeux, a village on the coast of France. They're now fighting for the town of Caen. Tuesday, the 13th of June, 1944. I've had another birthday, so now I'm 15. I had quite a few presents. Among them were an art history book, some underwear, a handkerchief, a pot of jam, 2 small honey cakes, a book about plants from Mother and Father, sweets from Miep, and some lovely flowers from Peter. The invasion is still going well, although the weather is terrible. Heavy rain, strong winds and rough seas. Peter loves me more each day, but something is holding us back, and I don't know what it is. Sometimes I wonder if I wanted him too much. I think that perhaps it wasn't real. But then if I can't go up to his room for a day or two, I want him badly again. Peter is kind and good, but in some ways I'm not happy about him as a person. He doesn't think much of God, for example, and I don't like the way that he talks about food. And why doesn't he let me come close to him, really close to the person deep inside him? I haven't been outside for so long that everything in the natural world seems wonderful to me now. I remember a time when I didn't notice the blue sky, or the flowers, or hear the song of the birds. All that has changed. When I can, I try to watch the moon, or the dark, rainy sky through our windows. And when I look at the clouds, the moon and the stars, I really do feel calm and hopeful. It's the best medicine, and I am stronger afterwards. Unfortunately, I usually have to try and look through dusty curtains and very dirty windows. Tuesday, the 27th of June, 1944. The mood has changed, and everything outside is going very well. The Allies have won Cherbourg, Vitebsk, and Schlobin. In the 3 weeks since D-Day, there have been rain and storms every day, but the British and the Americans have fought hard. How far do you think we'll be on the 27th of July? Saturday, the 15th of July, 1944. I know that I won Peter as a friend, not the other way round. I was the one who tried to make it work, and I made a picture of him in my mind as a quiet, sweet boy who badly needed a loving friend. I needed someone to talk to say what was in my heart. I wanted a friend, too, who would help me to find my way again. I succeeded. Slowly but surely, he came towards me. Finally, we became friends, but we became very close, too. I find it hard to believe now that we grew so close. We talked about very private things, but never about what was deep in my heart. And I still can't understand Peter. Is he really shy, or is there nothing deep in him at all? But I made one big mistake. I wanted him to be close to me, and now we can't be friends any other way. And he's holding on to me too tightly. I can't see how to change this now. Friday, the 21st of July, 1944. Now, at last, things are going well. Great news! Somebody tried to kill Hitler, and it was actually a German army official who tried to do it. This shows us that many of the German soldiers have had enough of the war too, and would like to end it. Tuesday, the 1st of August, 1944. I'm 2 people, really. as I've often told you. One side of me is cheerful and amusing, and enjoys a kiss or a rude joke. This is the Anne that people know, and they will be amused by me for an afternoon, but after that they've had enough of me for a month. No one knows the other side, the better side of Anne. It's deeper and finer. But the first Anne always shows herself, and won't let the second Anne out. I try, but it doesn't work. It's because I'm afraid that people will laugh at me. Of course people laugh at me now, I'm used to it. But they laugh at the amusing, light-hearted Anne. She doesn't care, but the deeper Anne is too weak for that. If I make the good Anne come out even for 15 minutes, she won't speak, and allows Anne number 1 to talk. Then, before I realize it, she's disappeared again. So the nice Anne never comes out in front of other people, but she's almost always there when I'm alone. I would like to change, and I'm trying hard, but it's difficult. If I'm quiet and serious, my family thinks I'm ill. But I keep trying to become what I would like to be, and what I could be if only there were no other people in the world.
Anne's diary ends here. Afterword. On the morning of the 4th of August, 1944, a car arrived at 263 Prinsengracht, the address of the secret annex. German and Dutch police arrested the 8 people who were hiding in the annex. Somebody must have told the authorities that they were hiding there. They also arrested 2 of their helpers, Mr. Kugler and Mr. Kleeman. Miep and Bep were not arrested. The police took all the money and anything valuable that they could find in the annex. Miep later found Anne's diary in the building and kept it safely until after the war. The police took Kugler and Kleeman to a prison in Amsterdam. On the 11th of September 1944, they were sent to a concentration camp in Amersfoort, also in Holland. Because Kleeman was ill, he was allowed to go free on the 18th of September. He lived in Amsterdam until he died in 1959. Kugler later escaped, and he went to live in Canada, where he died in 1989. Bep's real name was Elizabeth Voskuil-Veek, and she died in Amsterdam in 1983. Miep Santhushits-Gies is still living in Amsterdam, but her husband, Jan, died in 1993. The 8 people from the annex were first taken to a prison in Amsterdam. Then they were sent to Auschwitz, the concentration camp in Poland. It seems that Mr. Van Daan died by gas at Auschwitz, and his wife was taken to several more concentration camps. She died in a concentration camp, though nobody knows exactly how. On the 16th of January 1945, Peter Van Daan had to go on the terrible prisoner's walk from Auschwitz to Mauthausen in Austria, where he died on the 5th of May 1945. He died only 3 days before the Allies got to the camp. Albert Dussel died on the 20th of December 1944 in the Neuengamme concentration camp. Edith Frank, Anne's mother, died in the Auschwitz concentration camp on the 6th of January 1945, too tired and too hungry to live any longer. Margot and Anne Frank were taken from Auschwitz to the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp near Hanover in Germany. A terrible illness attacked the prisoners there. They both died in the winter of 1944 to 45. Anne must have died in late February or early March. All the bodies of the prisoners were thrown together. The British Army arrived at the camp on the 12th of April, 1945. Otto Frank was the only one of the 8 still alive. After Russian soldiers reached Auschwitz, he was finally taken back to Amsterdam. In 1953, he moved to Switzerland, married again, and lived there until his death in 1980. He spent the rest of his life trying to share the message of his daughter's diary with the rest of the world.